Why be negative, bro? No, like real talk. Like, not even like that's not a rhetorical question. Like, answer to yourself, why be negative? Now, if you're like most people, you begun to think of the answer that you think is right. And I think we get a lot of pressure to go, well, there's no reason to be negative. There's no point to be negative. But there's actually a good reason to be negative, right? There's good reasons to be negative. The primary purpose of negative emotions or anything negative is to alert us of a problem, right? So when you experience pain, right? Pain, the purpose of pain is to alert you. Hey, your leg's broke, right? If you didn't know, hey man, you having a heart attack, you can't breathe, right? Pain. That's the purpose of pain. That's the purpose of negativity. So when you think about negative emotions, pessimism, hatred, anger, depression, sadness, when you think about these negative emotions, a lot of times we just go, don't be negative, don't be negative. But I'm gonna keep it a buck. There's been so many times in my life where I'm like, yo, shut the fuck up talking about don't be negative. I got issues with my family. I got issues with my money. I got issues with my romantic relationships. I got issues with my health. I got issues with my job. Like, I got issues on every point of my life. Or I got all these issues, and all these goddamn issues can be solved if I had more money in my bank account, right? And so you're frustrated because it's like, sometimes you're negative, not even because you don't know the answers or you don't know how to navigate your life. Sometimes you're negative because situations you can't control is pissing you off, is frustrating you, right? There are things that are beyond your reach, beyond your control, that is making you be negative. So when someone comes to you and goes, hey man, just be positive, you're like, man, suck my d-. Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear that. Right? And so this is definitely isn't one of those, power of positivity, just think better and it'll be better. But there is truth to that. But I want to talk about negativity because negativity has a purpose, right? There's a purpose to your pessimism. You're pessimistic about the future because you're alerted about something. You've been alerted about a danger or about an outcome that could negatively impact you, right? There's a reason why you're sad. You're sad because you've been alerted about something. Something happened, right? Something has been taken from you. Something is, or whatever, but you're sad for some reason, or you're depressed, or you're angry, or you're experiencing these negative emotions. But their purpose is to alert you of something. Hey man, you just had your heart broken. That woman that you thought was everything, turns out y'all not gonna be together, right? And so you experience a negative emotion. That's to alert you, because if you weren't alerted, you would go on believing that, let's take the heartbreak example for example. You will go the rest of your life believing, hey, everything between you and this girl is fine, but she's moved on with her life. She's done something different. And you're just left there thinking like, what do I do now? And so there is purpose to negativity, but let negativity serve its purpose and then go on with your life. Like, bro, when I started to realize this shit was so fucking profound to me, because I think a lot of times what ends up happening for a lot of us is you'll find yourself in a negative feedback loop. And then what'll happen is, once you realize you're in that negative feedback loop, then you'll beat on yourself because you were in the negative feedback loop, right? So your response to negativity is more negativity. It's like, Gabe, you know better. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so what I've learned is to stop and ask myself, okay, what's the point of being negative right now? Like, I have negative emotions, but have they served their purpose? Have I been alerted to what happened? Now, that's the other thing about negativity. Negativity is supposed to alert you about what did happen, because we don't know what could happen. So when we're experiencing things like fear, pessimism, right? We're now projecting an outcome. We're now thinking, hey, this is going to happen in the future. And then when I stop to think to myself and go, well, wait a second, Gabe, you don't know what's going to happen in the future. What if all your dreams do come true in the future? What if you're right? What if it's not as hard? What if it's easy? Right? That's not the purpose of negativity is not to predict outcomes. The purpose of negativity is to help you understand what's already happened. Got my heart broken? Negative emotion. I break my leg? Oh shit, pain, right? Negative, right? Fired from my job? Negative emotion, right? The purpose of negativity is to alert you of what has already happened, not what's going to happen. What is going to happen in a very real way, we have not full mastery and full control over it, but the state that we put ourselves into the present, that's what's going to determine the next present and the next present and the next present. So what I started to do with myself is have fun with it. I started to have fun with it instead of looking, because I've been pessimistic for most of my life. What helped me was going, all right, Gabe, instead of looking at the future and believing everything's going to be negative. And what's cool about this is I've been getting in touch with my inner child. I'm going to make a video about that because it's been really beneficial and really helpful to me. And I began to unpack why I've been so pessimistic for my entire life. Very long story short, it's basically a defense mechanism. Is because when I was a child, something happened to me that I never thought would happen. And when it happened, the way I coped was to go, all right, well, this is just your life, right? Like, it's your life, you got to live it. So just go. And so from that point on, I began to look at the rest of life like, okay, no matter how good you feel right now, what you think can't happen can happen, right? And so I just kind of carried that on with me. But what I begun to do was to have fun with this, was go, okay, stop and ask myself, okay, has negativity served this purpose? Am I aware of the possible pitfalls? Yes or no? If the answer is yes, okay, boom. If the answer is no, then perhaps either A, I don't have enough information to know what the possible pitfalls are coming up, or B, there's just no possible pitfalls and you just in your head right now, right? So then I started to go, and I'll wrap this up soon because I don't want this video to be too long. But then what I started doing was going, okay, I don't have to be negative right now. I'm already aware of what's happened. Even if I'm wrong about the future, why not pretend like the future is going to be good? Like, I literally tell myself that. I'm going to pretend that my future is going to be great. I'm going to pretend that it's going to be good because that's more enjoyable right now. That, to my experience right now, there is no reason why I have to internally, right? Not on the outside. The outside, the material life is the material life. We got to deal with it, right? But internally, there's no reason why I must internally suffer right now. There's no reason why I have to. There's no law. There's no spiritual reason why I must engage in feeling negative or pessimistic about the future. Even if these negative emotions tell me that the future is going to be negative, why don't I just pretend that it's going to be positive? Why don't I just pretend that things are going to be good, right? Because if nothing else, it keeps me focused on the present, which at the end of the day, it's all I got, right? Both negativity and positivity tends to take you out of the present. It tends to take you out of the present. And I've been really trying to help myself stay grounded in the present. You don't know what happens next. I think so much of our human experience, we're trying to predict what happens next. What happens next? What happens next? What happens next? Right? Like, if we keep it a buck, like, that's really the fear of dying, right? Like, that's why we all fear dying, because it's like we don't know what's going to happen next. And so, but part of the human experience is staying present and understanding that you might be able to predict what happens next, and that's when life gets fun, right? But you don't know, and you'll never know, because knowledge is past tense, right? You can't know the future. You can predict it, you can, but that's about it. So that's what I got. I don't want to go too long, but that's what I got for today. Just, why be negative? If you've already been alerted of the something bad that has happened to you, or the possibility of a negative outcome, then the negativity have served its purpose. Let it go. Stay present. Hell, even pretend just for this moment right now. You can go back to getting to work on what you need to work on to make sure that the future is good for you. But even in this moment, just stop and just pretend and just go, you know what? Everything is great. I'm great. My life's great. And then what I've also found, I keep saying I'm going to end this video, but I'm going to end this video on this thought, I promise. What I've even begun to find was that when I began to quote unquote pretend that life was going to be good, I started to see all the ways that my life is good. I started to find joy, happiness in my relationships, and I began to see, like, wow, I actually do have way more control over the outcome of these relationships that mean a lot to me, or this job that I have to provide for my family, or this experience that I'm going through. Wow, I actually can do something right now that's going to change it. But first, I need to make sure that I allow myself to feel that negative emotion, then ask myself, okay, has negativity served its purpose? And then go on from there. All right, man, that's what I got for y'all today. I'll see y'all later. Peace.